Hola estudiantes, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a mi clase de español. This is the class for Spanish 101. And this class is offered online and hybrid. When it's hybrid, you have to go to school 1 day a week, and that is Mondays at 2:30, and then we got it online, okay? The thing about online is that you still have access to our tutor. So I will put the schedule right there, and you will be able to check it out and see when you can make an appointment, and then you can come to school, or you can do it via Zoom. And then you can have an appointment and discuss, something that you need to understand, that you need that the tutor explain to you in a more extensive way. Okay, so here is the Moodle shelf, and I wanted to talk to you about how the class is going to be for you to be ready for it. Okay, so one of the things you got is you got the welcome video, right? When I'm telling you again about the classes, but I don't tell you all these tours that I'm going to do and to make for you in order for see very clear what are the different things you need to do in the classroom. You got it also in the syllabus, but I think this way is more, much better. Okay, so you here is going to have, the syllabus they are going to be updated for every semester. These are my appointments for Zoom. This is the time, Monday and Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday, right? For this specific time. And you need to make an appointment to make sure that we really know what we're going to discuss about it. If I need to prepare some material for you, then I know. So please, just let me know ahead of time, at least 24 hours before, to make sure that we can really have a good conversation in Zoom. The attendance, that is, very... you can see that very well explained in the syllabus too, on the syllabus. And it will talk about, when you are online, you need to do the activities. Those activities are the ones who checking out your attendance. So if you never show up in a week, that means that you don't have any attendance for that week. Okay, then we go and we're going to start week 1. Usually I will open the weeks on Sunday, about like 6 p.m. at the most. And the reason why is so you can start looking at it. Is there is some people who really start having a busy week, they can start understanding what they're going to do for the week. What I'm explaining to you right now is going to be the best practice that we need to use in order to be successful in this class. At the end of the day, everybody is an adult, and everybody will do in different ways, and it's valid is that word for you. But you're still going to have to meet the requirement of the class. And one of the important things that we have in this class is the due date. And we got that for a reason. And I will explain you why. Everything is the way it is. So the first thing that you want to see when you get into Moodle every week and you check it out and see week 1 is to check it out and go to the objectives. Right here, they're going to tell you what we need. For example, in the first week, you're going to gain familiarity with the class regarding the expectation. That's what I'm doing right now, telling you what I expect from you, and then you also know what to expect from me. So we're going to learn all this, meet and greet, and, in Spanish, recognize the meaning of many Spanish cognatos, pronounce the words in Spanish. So we're going to know all this. And then you also got what activities you're going to have. Being online, you still are required to put, and we need to make activities that really comprehend a specific amount of time. Because this class is for credit hours, I have to make that also be reflected in how much time you spend doing activities. Okay, so Then you got there. Then you're going to see the video class tour. That is what I'm doing right now. So you're going to check that out. If you got any questions, any things that you have, please, you can do it through this. Every week we have a course content question. Week 1, week 2, week 3. So if you got any question, I can check that out. Sometimes some students have the same question that somebody else, and I have to answer different emails. In this way, everybody there to see the answer, to see the question in case that you got the same inquiry. I do put also some podcasts for you to understand other series of things that I cannot get through just the classes, right? And mostly those are things related to culture and why we do the things we do when we are learning another language. Okay, then you got the text and video lectures. This class is what we call OER, Open Education Resources. It's an amazing opportunity because in that way, you don't have to buy a book. With the distance learning department, I put all this together. They did an awesome job. Also with the person who helped me to do the videos and lectures. Awesome people. And I wanted to say thanks to them. Okay, so we got here some of the why study Spanish, right? So you can click and check it out. And then you got the video lectures. Those are video lectures with my voice, right? And I explain to you with PowerPoints what it's all about, the class for that week. So this is one of the videos. And then I will explain to you everything.
Now we're going to check the alphabet. The alphabet at this point, I just want that you
see, you check it out and you're going to see myself talking to you, explaining the lectures. Like I say, I don't like that the lectures go more than 15 minutes. I try to avoid it. So sometimes I put it into block if it's needed. So you can check it out one today and then the other one later on. Okay, estudiantes. So like I was saying, you got the highlights. And then you're going to have all these different things that are important for you to check it out, especially the video lectures. Like I told you before, you're going to see them and see how much you understand. And then you can see this. I try to make the lectures no more than 15 minutes. Sometimes that's what I divide them into 2 sessions, A and B, so you don't feel overwhelmed. One thing about the lectures is that please make sure that you take notes. Learning a second language is something that is going to be always, you always need to know what it was. That what we studied before is very important for what we're studying next. It's not something that you're studying right now and that's it. You're still going to work with that material and bring it up and build into it. So it's important that you take note because in that way, you got everything right there and you don't have to go and start looking places here, places there all the time. That is the idea, and that's why we give you all that time for you to be able to do that. For some people, it's more important, or they feel more comfortable reading than listening. So you got to also hear the book. Again, this is what we call OER. So we don't have to, we just take material for different places that are open resources. So we don't have to spend in a book, what is great. So also I designed it according to how we are going through the different items during the classroom. So for example, here los saludos, right? And then they're going to tell you what are they, what do you need to know, right? You are going to see basic conversation in Spanish, right? Formal greetings, buenos dias, good morning. So all of these, please take notes. Take notes. So then you got it with you and you don't have to be in and out. So here is all the things, right? And all of this, you need to know it for this week. That's why we cannot just, wait until the last minute. This book has also some practice, right? But those practice are not graded. They are just one more way for you to practice. Okay? So again, you should be able to understand all this. You should be able to, immediately when I open the week, make sure at the beginning of the week that you know the objectives, you know what you're going to study, you take a time to do the video, time to do the book, and of course, time to take notes and make sure that you know all this material. Okay. So then after this, we are going to go back right here. That's the book. The enter, you know it now. And here we go again to this week. And then things to know for this week. We really need to know these things for this week. Greetings, subject pronouns. Subject pronouns are you, he, she, we, right? And the verb ser, the equivalent to say I am, you are, he is, we are, and so on. Numbers from 0 to 30, not only 1, 2, 3, 4, but also you need to know how to write them and how to spell them and how to read them. Muy bien. The Spanish alphabet, I put it there because some people really like to know how you pronounce the letters, of course, in Spanish, and it's great. However, as you move along, you will be identify all the sounds and become more natural. And the vocabulary and Quizlet. So for this week, you got this vocabulary. You press that button or that link, and it will take you to Quizlet. And in Quizlet, you got different way to study the vocabulary, right? Again, you need to have a Google account. Everybody admit need to have a Google account with a Meet email. And take the opportunity to tell you, please always write to me with the Meet email, because otherwise, sometimes I don't receive anything because the system rejected. Okay, so you got the chapter 1. You can see you got flashcard, right? So you got different activities right here. You're going to see that you can have it good night, buenas noches. Then you go to the next one, buenos dias, good morning. You can also read the pronunciation, read how to spell it, but also listen to the pronunciation. You see it?
Hola.
You see, you can deal that way. You can take a practice test. You can do matching activities and learn the vocabulary. So you got many activities I wish I would have when I was learning, right? So el diccionario. You go over here and you match el diccionario. La mesa is over here, so we do it. El día, the day, right? Señora is Mrs., so we do it right here. I am from is this one right here. And of course, la universidad is right here. And then you're done. They're going to tell you how much you did, right? And then you can do it all over again, if that's the case. Muy bien. So you got there my voice and the vocabulary that I make you responsible for. Please make sure that when you write all these different things that I'm going to ask you for, that you use the vocabulary. This is Spanish 101, and I want to make sure that everybody understands the vocabulary, right? So even if you got Spanish before, sometimes even I got native speakers, you have to study and you have to express yourself at the level that we're studying so everybody can understand. Otherwise, the frustration is, terrible. So here we go, number from 0 to 30. Also, you got it in Quizlet. Extra resources. Okay, sometimes we feel like, I got the book, I got the video, I got all this, but I would like something else. You still can do it over here. And in each one, I put several sources, PowerPoints that I can help you with. again, this is a good moment also if you don't understand to realize that you are not by yourself, that you can always ask me, and you can also ask the tutor and make an appointment and discuss what are your, issues regarding understanding the class, and some material. That, of course, is going to happen because if this is the first time that you take in Spanish, this is what is going to happen, and that is expected. Okay? Muy bien. Now, when you come here and say stop weekly assignments, ensure that you thoroughly review and complete each. That is very, very important. Okay? So when you come over here, it's going to say learning log. The learning log, look at here, say assignments due for credit Saturday at 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., they will be closed. Additionally, logs and photos are due on Thursday at 8 p.m. So this is the log, and say, please explain in your own words what are personal pronouns. List them in Spanish and what's the equivalent in English. I want that you, after you read your book and after you see the video, after you practice, you tell me with your own words, what is that for you? Because that's what I want to know if you really understand. And if I do it on Thursday, it's because I want to make sure that you're going to have plenty of time to ask me still questions, and still you can be in contact with the tutor in case that you need it, since the activities are due Saturday by 8 p.m. If I let it be until Saturday, than I have in previous semester, it's a mess because people wait until the last minute. You got 48 hours for me to respond the email, even though I try to do it as soon as you send me one email, I try to respond you right back. But if you don't receive that, then you won't be able to do your activities and you will fail the class because you will fail in achieving points necessary for that week. So there is a reason behind. Okay, also then you're going to have the discussion forum. And here say that in this case, I just want that you introduce yourself and talk about this. So every week we will have something. Sometimes I ask you to respond to some of your classmates. Sometimes I just, ask you to write some sentences, and then I will give you feedback. The same with the log, learning log. If I see you did a good job, you will get the 10 points and no problem. Everything will be fine. But if I send you a note and say, hey, I don't understand this, or really, it's not clear what you mean, you need to fix it. So I'm giving you an opportunity. But if you don't do it by the due date, then it's nothing I can do. Okay? The same with the phonons. And that's what I ask you. Please use the vocabulary we are studying in class. So once that you do learning log week 1, and then the discussion forum, then you got activities that are like quizzes, right? And then you're going to come over here, you're going to write those, right? Say, write each of the following numbers in Spanish plus the answer for the result. In that way, we can make sure that you understand how to write them. Okay, you submit it, and then you can do it as many times as you need until they are correct. Once that you submit it, they're going to tell you which ones are wrong, and you can do it again. Please take notes when you are doing your activities because that's a way to learn. Muy bien. So, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me also in the question box. Muy bien. So you have all these activities. I will open weeks 1 per week, right? So you don't feel overwhelmed. So you're going to do week 1. By Thursday, you're going to submit the learning log and the discussion forum. And that's it. Those are the only 2 items that need to be by Thursday because that gives me an opportunity to check how you are doing. If you're waiting until Saturday at 7:30 to do everything for this class, those are not the best practice. That's not what we're expecting. And that's not what is going to make you to succeed unless you are bilingual. and you really speak Spanish, right? But since you are already in this class, I has to everybody be the same. So you're going to have to do the same that everybody else, even if that is the case. Okay, so you go to then week number 2. I will open it about 6 p.m. on Sundays. Remember, you got then Sunday, you got about 6 nights and 6 days to do your activities. Sunday, I just leave it for a while so everybody have a break, and then you can work on your own things if you want to. Check it out the book, the previous book, working in your notes, working in your vocabulary. So let's go to week number 2. Again, now you know the activity list. It's the first thing you need to do. The questions, if you got any. Then you got the video lecture. Then you got also the text. I'm sorry. And then make sure that if you do any of those activities, they don't count for your grading. They are just extra in case that you want to do it. Things to know for the week, extra resources, we already know that. And then come the stop. So we know that these activities, we need to do it for this week. After Thursday by 8 p.m., the learning log and the discussion forum will be right if you have discussion forum. You not always have discussion forum. You got always a learning log. But sometimes you got discussion forums, and sometimes you got videos. And the videos you can do until Saturdays, okay? But the discussion forum, if you have one, they need to do by Thursday. Why? Because that is the nature of the discussion forums, that the students see what another classmate did, and then they can have a feedback. If you do it by 7:55, nobody will see that anymore, and that will defeat the purpose. Okay, so, and then you got all the other activities that you will do by the end of the week, meaning Saturday, by 8 p.m. Now, the video. Let me show you how this works. Again, in the video say, for your first video discussion, please post a greeting in Spanish and then answer the following questions. Of course, I say Spanish. So, what's your name? Yo me llamo Lucy. How are you? Yo estoy bien. Where are you from? Yo soy de Venezuela. Yo soy de Michigan. Yo soy de Clare, Michigan, right? And then you're going to practice that. Make sure that you know how to do it. And then you're going to go to Flipgrid. In order to go to Flipgrid, make sure that you please have your Google account with Meet. Otherwise, it will be impossible. Okay? All right. And then you're going to have this. Like you can say week 2 discussions. Then you're going to add your response. And then you're going to be able to see everybody's what they say. You're going to record yourself. I'm going to check it out. And I will give you a feedback. Right? I try to give you feedback for every video, a few people at a time. Sometimes it's impossible to give it to every, the total of my students, 100 whatever, given the same week, the feedback. But I do. You're always going to receive from me some feedback during the semester, either in your log, your video, or whatever, because I take note of who I send it. If you're doing really good, then I will send you one that say, wow, this is excellent. Or you need to improve in this letter when you pronounce, instead of saying, I don't know, tomate, right? That is tomato. It's tomate. The T is different how we say it, right? Tacos versus taco in the back. So I will let you know if you do it great also, but I'm not going to answer every single thing every single week for everyone, okay? Because time matter is impossible sometimes. So please make sure that you understand that part. Muy bien. So you will do this, and you will be able to listen to your other classmates, how they pronounce also. And this is going to help you to listen, to understand, and to put it in practice. That's the beauty, right? And if you make a mistake, so what? It's not that I'm going to give it to you because you did it perfecto, but that you made your best effort. Yes, I'm going to see that. Okay, then you do this part. Then we're almost done. We're going to have to come right here. Notice that in the second week also, the activities, all these will disappear. They will be closed after the due date. So you don't have any access to see them because you already did it. That's why your notes are important. However, after week 1, you're always going to have a review that is on grade. You don't have any grade for this, but it's a way to remember, as you know, all the things that we studied in the previous week. So you're going to be able to check it out to make sure that you did it, and you won't have any penalty for that. Okay, so every week you will have a summary of the previous week. You don't have that in the first week because there is no previous week in number 1. So, but make sure that you do that because, again, the activities will be closed, but I make a summary of all these different activities and put it here for you to practice and make sure that you really understand the material and move forward to the next week and be successful. Muy bien. Again, I know I'm becoming repetitive, but if you give me after Thursday, after 8 p.m., you give me a log, I won't take it. I won't grade it. I can read it, but I won't grade it. I won't give you the points. The same for the discussion forum. If you have it this week, I won't give you the point for that. I will read it, but I won't give you the point. So make sure that you follow all this. Because in order to be successful, we need to follow certain rules. This is not an independent study, right? And we all need to benefit from each other. So this is the only way to do it that is fair. Okay? Muy bien. And then let me show you about the grade. These are the grades that you're going to find in your syllabi, but I think that is very important that I say, and this is kind of the last thing I need to say. You got all your grades, put it in this way. You got 12 quizzes, and we take only 10, the 2 lowest quizzes, right here, draw lowest value, right, include empty grades. So you want to make sure that you do all your quizzes. Once that the past due, that is Saturday at 8 p.m., the quiz and the activities will be closed, and you won't have any opportunity, and you will lose those points. It's like a bank, like a checking account, a saving account. You need to deposit every week a certain number, right? That is based on the activities that you do, and the quizzes, and the forums, and the video, because this is a skill. So I need to see how you speak, how you listen, how you follow directions, and how you're spelling. Okay, so then we go and we got 3 tests, 100 points each. If you realize the tests are only the 30% of the whole grade. There are people who got 100 on the test. However, they don't have an A in the class. And the reason is because they don't have the points from quizzes, from activities, from logs, from videos, from forums. And there is nothing I can do. I'm just going to add what is right there. Okay, then you got homeworks. There are 3 each one. Again, these are amazing because you can do as many times as you need. So you can have those, the total of 174 points. You can have all those. The only thing you need to do is just do it on time. Again, you got 6 days, 6 nights. You have to learn how to manage your time with the other classes, with your work, with family, with friends, everything. And that's the adult life. We need to do that. What are we going to do? How are we going to manage? I have to do that too. Between my classes, between my personal life, between the other activities that I have at school, meetings, committees, and all these things. But that's what I need to do. Okay, the learning logs, you got 15. Again, they got a due date. You do it. If the logs are kind of weak, incomplete, like for example, I say in the first one, please write the pronouns that we have in Spanish and tell me their equivalent in English. Some people just say, I, you, he. That's it. How do you want me? I cannot give you 2 points for that. I needed that you say, I. Personal pronouns are the one who establish who is the subject in a sentence, right? And I means yo, right? And then you means that we got 2 different you. We got informal or formal. That's what I need to make sure that you understand and you can move on. Okay, then they got the discussion forums. And the discussion forums, you see, they are mixed with videos. But the discussion forum has to be done when you got them by Thursday by 8 p.m. The videos, it doesn't matter. You can have it by Saturday. Then you got all activities sometime here. They are 0, 0, 0. They don't have any points regarding to that. You can do it, but it's just for you. And then at the end, you have to accumulate 924 points for this class. Right? If you do that, then that's awesome. You need to see what is the scale that we got for the class, right? 94% of the class is an A. So check it out your syllabus and then make sure that you got, if you want to have an A in this class, you need to have 94 of the total points that I just told to you. Let's do it one more time to make sure we got it. And here we go. And you have to have 924 points. So what is the 94% of those points? You need to have that in order to be able to achieve an A. Okay? So I hope this helped you, my friends, in understanding the classes and why are we doing the way we do things, right? Behind this, there is a big effort for many people, from many people, and we want to make sure that you understand because, again, a language is a skill. It's like learning to play a piano, a sport. You cannot just have a lesson once in a while. You have to do it every day and practice every day in order to be able to learn all the vocabulary that we need in order to communicate and change code from English to Spanish in our brain and be able to communicate with other people, regardless if they speak Spanish or English. Okay? I hope this helped. Please take it easy. Any question that you need and anything, make sure that you email me. I will be more than happy to help you. My best thing is that I really, really want that you succeed in this class, and I will be your first cheerleader to make sure that that happens. Okay? Thank you so much for your attention. Hasta la vista, amigos, and nos vemos.